I'm ready if you're ready.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Born ready. Hey there. Look what we got in the shop. Big Bertha. Looks a little different from this angle. I mean, Little Jewel. Different project. Sorry. But now you can see under the floor of this unit, very structurally sound. No cancer in the rocker panels like you'll see on so many of these old trucks. For some reason, they torched out the back corners of the cab, which is a little bit of a bummer, but there's no rot. This is like a very dry steel can for sure. Look under the doors. A little bit beat up. No cancer. No cancer in the rocker panels. I mean, hey now. What's not to like about that? This side's the same story. They just accessed with a torch for some reason. Who knows? Not a big problem. This is an easy fix on both sides. Coming around, looking at the roof, it was so tall, I never even looked at it. But look at this. I mean, very good shape.
It's really nice.
A lot of these trucks you'll see get hit back here because something in the cab comes forward, and there is a little bit I could feel right here, but nothing major. There's a little ding here. But I love these lights. Look at the glass lenses. There was 3 originally, and I think the law changed for some. I heard something about this, and look, 2 lights are different than the original 3. And I don't know what this metal stick is in here. Look at this. No idea what's going on.
Yeah, those are like really well intact.
I know. What a luck.
Like I didn't even really think about them either.
It was so tall. And you see on both sides in the drip rail, probably when they transplanted this cab, they put a strap right there because it's even on both sides. And yeah, ask me how I know. They crushed the drip rail and put a little ring-a-ding in the roof. Still not a problem to fix it. Pretty straightforward. Took out a bunch of wires, got the mirror brackets off for now. Some simple little dings in here can get hammered out, but look at the back wall. Very solid.
Yeah, it's like really nice for how old it is. Wow.
I don't think I'd want to paint this.
No, I don't think we should
It's
paint
looking
it.
better. Maybe I'll just pinstripe Little Jewel on the hood, and that's it. Because, yeah, I love the way the color and the old numbers are still on
I
it.
agree.
It's all very straight.
Like this, what do you think those numbers are on the side right there?
Probably a race truck,
Race truck.
you know. If you're going to race, you're going to need a number on the side, so I bet that's what it was. So take a look down here. This is what we couldn't see. Pretty cool. I don't know if they tapped this or there were bolts, but they made these brackets with a hinge right here. Pretty slick. It looks like, I don't know, maybe this cab was a tilt cab. I have no idea. This is where the old shifter would come through, so that's kind of a hint that it's originally a pickup truck. Some modification in here in the past. I don't know, every truck has a story. You can see how they just purpose built this whole mounting bracket for the master cylinder and the brake pedal mount. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to fire up the torch and get rid of that business. Then we're going to put this cab bottom side down.
Ooh, I get to see the torch, the fire axe that you used the other day.
That is correct.
Oh, heck yeah.
There will be sparks. Everybody loves sparks. So we used the torch last time to heat. This time we're going to cut. That's the whole beauty of this oxyacetylene business is you'll turn on the fuel source here, and then there's a circuit for the oxygen. So you'll set your max oxygen flow through here, and this is the idle. And I'll show you how that works once I light it. Basically, this is the throttle. You got a flame, and then you're supercharged. You're cutting. And the way you accomplish that, if you don't know, is you heat up the steel until it's red hot. It's just about to melt. And when you hit it with the oxygen, it oxidizes that and just, you'll see it. The metal flies right out at like a superheated rate. It is expelled. It's going to be a little ugly because it's so rusty, but it's going to come apart. Guaranteed. Are there any questions?
No, I'm ready. I want to see this.
It's a brand new torch. I've been having some backfire issues with it. I don't know if it's me or what. We'll see how it cuts. I mean, I'm able to cut for sure, but if it pops on and off a couple times, hey, that's operator error. Blame me. Get about 8 psi, or what is it? Yeah, about 8 psi. No, not 8 psi.
Here, let me get over there.
I just read somewhere, and again, this is welding school, right? Years ago. You don't want to have the acetylene way too high. That's why that regulator turns red over there. So I'm going to put it about there. This isn't very thick steel to cut, so I don't need a whole lot of flow through this torch. Well, let me light it up. So see, that's very black smoke. That's pure acetylene. I'm going to turn the idle off, turn the oxygen all the way up. That's the full potential. Then I'm going to make a nice flame. See the blue cone right here? No blue, lots of blue. You want that in a neutral setting, almost like the burner on your gas range in your kitchen. That's too little acetylene, that's too much, that's all of it. So you want a neutral flame. Then this is the throttle. That's gonna send that steel away.
And here I thought you were going to use the grinder.
I was gonna, but this is more exciting. Put something, I don't wanna, if you're cutting with a torch, you don't want to be kneeling on the ground like I was just about to do, because that liquid hot steel will come and get you. So I'm gonna do the bottom side first, because you got all this bracketry in the way. So I'm gonna try to like pierce in behind all this action without burning the floor of the cab up too much either. So can you see that, Jamie?
Yes, I can.
You see how those little sparks are starting to come off of it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the beginning. As soon as it really starts to spark, you can hit it with the oxygen. Look at that. You know why I called it the gas axe? Hi-ya! Just chop right through that steel like nothing. A very old process. It's not very new information if you're experienced with this kind of stuff, but it's still cool. I'm going to cut this weld off with the grinder later because I want to preserve the sheet metal. I'm just going to go below that. See, it's starting to cook right now. That's it. Shoot it away. Not using a ton of pressure because I don't want to burn the floor of the truck or overheat it. Catch a bunch of stuff on fire on the other side of the wall. I'm just going to drop it out. I really hit the oxygen down there because I was trying to shoot it straight across under that bracket. Send the flame that away. It smells good, huh? There's some nature in there. It's like a nice campfire. Get it warmed up, start to shoot it. This is why I was saying you don't want to kneel on the floor, because that'll get you.
Ooh.
Couple more hangers on, right there. There it is. Try to get a little more torch down inside. You do want to try to avoid that. I mean, it's not good for the instrument, but you could do it a lot without completely ruining stuff. because this bracket for the brake is here, I'm trying to reach the flame in. That's why I got that backfire thing starting to happen. There it goes. Let's see if we can bend that down. It's starting to move. Hey, come on. All right, there it is. It's a bit of a dance at this point. I'll turn it way up and try to push that flame all the way through that plate. See all that crud in there? That's what was causing the backfiring.
That was literally one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
You want to see something even cooler? Hey now! Fun with fire. So I'm going to cut this brake pedal off. Actually, that's the clutch pedal, my bad. So the pedal goes through the floor of the truck. It's just getting stuck. Just knock this off. Get a little more heat on it. This is thicker steel, so it's going to take a moment to warm it up. Looks thicker than a 1/4 inch for sure. It's the clutch pedal, so it's a big one. Isn't that fun?
Wow.
We got a brake pedal too. Let's do that. Isn't that cool?
You're like a magician.
It's magic. Science! That's a good view of how the cut looks in the open. Starting to get nice and hot. See, as soon as it starts to get red and spark, see a couple of sparks come over there. Any time now. I guess not. It's melting. Here we go.
Aye!
Yeah, backfired again. That's it. Isn't that cool though?
That's really, really, really cool.
That concludes our less than perfect cutting experience.
I think I like you even more now, Mr. Russo.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Look at that contraption. Ew, you don't need none of that. Put a nice modern booster under here, power brakes, and the automatic transmission, so we don't need no clutch. We don't need no stinking clutch. I'll leave these pivots here for now. I might cut this and reuse this, I'm not sure. But for now, I'll show you why I'm leaving them. You know, I forget that, like, not you, but the person on the other side of the camera, Jamie, has no idea what goes on in this shop. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to fire up a torch, it's going to be cool. She's like,
What?
oh.
Put your microphone up higher, love. I can't hear you.
How about that?
But yeah, no, I've never seen any of these things.
Processes. All right, this was the latch, the catch that met the part on the chassis that was fabricated. I'm going to leave that for now also. But I'm going to try some muscling and put this cab the way it should be. When it was outside, I picked it up and tilted it, but you know, sometimes things change once you move it around. Hopefully I don't slam it down and break anything.
Let's try.
Because when I moved it, I had to do a little balancing act. You'll see it's gonna get a little loose before it gets better. But try to lift her up.
Oh God.
Yeah. Find the balance point. Come around. Grab a handle. And lay her down. So you can see the pivot, right? It totally works. Oh, would you take me that floor jack, por favor?
This one?
Yeah, push it over here. It's actually a live performance. You'll get all the business. This isn't super heavy. I'm finding the balance point. But instead of me throwing out my lumbar,
Please don't.
raise this right up and land it on the pivot, or rather on the catch. See that?
Like
Easy
butter.
peasy. Now level this up. Look, we're back at a regular size truck posture.
Yeah, this paint is cool on it.
Pretty cool. I'm gonna move this table over a touch. Whoa. Bunch of people ask me about this table. It's a 59 Chevy truck chassis. 1 ton, I don't know, bigger than a 1 ton, you know, full semi-truck, massive 5-lug hubs. But I used the chassis, I did a frame swap on it. Put on a late 80s dually chassis, and it was actually that Culligan water truck. That was the tailgate. So it was a big truck that carried all those water filters for Culligan. Some of you may have seen the original Back from the Dead. There was a little feature on Big Boris, the car carrier, the blue Chevy Apache or Chevy Viking. That's the chassis. True story. It's a sassy chassis, if I may. All right. These are cool, very simple seat frames. Might get those upholstered, might just toss them in the scrap. We'll see. That's yet to be determined. Check out the firewall also, Jamie, around this side. There was all that stuff hanging off, so I just went in with a Sawzall, cut the heater, got rid of a bunch of the wires, and these pedals are now inoperable. They don't do anything. So, yeah, I got a little air scoop like so many old vehicles do. Oh, a fella who watched the series called me and said, hey, I happen to have the windshield for you. So
Awesome.
I think he's coming in around 6 a.m. tomorrow with brand new glass. So maybe I'll just pop this out while we're spanning some time together, because I'm running out of tasks to do. Here, let me take care of that antenna. We're not going to be needing that one just yet. When I take glass out, especially because this is broken, I could just smash it. I mean, a lot of times I do, but I mean, that's fun. But I just use a razor blade. Again, this is for the novices. Any kind of techie car guys will know this, but I just use a razor knife, jam it right in there. Wow, maybe not on this one. That's not even rubber anymore. Yeah. Let me get the windshield removal tool. I'll be right back.
I'm curious to see what the windshield removal tool is.
This is one of our more delicate pieces of equipment,
Ah.
the windshield removal tool. So let's just get that out of the way and make a little mess.
Maybe.
To go too crazy. I mean, there's already a hole in it. Can you dig it? See? Removing the windshield. Just like that. Fast and effective. There will be no dog visiting this episode until I clean up. See, now it's just got a little more life in it. Doesn't look so haunted house with all the broken glass. Oh, look at the cowl here. Wow.
The what?
Look at this. Upside down. That's a heavy hit. That was part of this action. Ba-doom. Wow. Maybe you can see from this plane. Look how caved in that is.
Yeah, definitely.
Ouch. That's a good one.
It's so interesting how you take these cars apart and you start to see like the fixes that need to be fixed.
Well, it's like when you fall in love for the first time. I remember you looking at me and saying, he's got potential. His nose is crooked, he could lose some weight, but he's got a hell of a charm. That's the way I see this truck. So that being said, this steering column is a no bueno either. So I think I'm going to use the Sawzall and remove that. And I guess, unless, Jamie, you have any other questions or comments, that's kind of wrap this episode.
So with the steering column, so you'll put a new steering column in?
Oh, for sure. I'll use this steering wheel. I do this all the time when I try to make something look old. I'll use that wheel, make an adapter, and just buy modern stuff.
Ah, okay.
That way the bearings are nice. It's a very simple column that I like to use. It's from Speedway, not name dropping, it's just one of the suppliers. It's a very generic round tube with bearings, and you can cut it, size it to whatever. All right, I'm just gonna cut this column and see if this thing comes out. I'm going right through the bracket. I don't need none of that. We're going all the way. Brand new stuff in here. It appears there's something below. No, it's just thick steel. I'm not even looking, I'm just trying to feel it out. Get this truck. I'm guessing there's a support on the bottom of this. Make sure I don't kneel in any of this broken glass. So this is the start of every good project. You got your, I called it the haunted house every time. That's really what it looks like. You got years of all the business. So yeah, look, see, this was a pickup truck. See, that's where the old steering column came through this hole here. They put a rubber mat over it. Let's see if I can get into that. Nope. Well, either way, get those pedals out. We need them anymore. They might have capped it with a plate. Anyway, there's a hole where the column used to go through there, so it's definitely not a cab over cab. This will be part of the trash run. See if I can bang this off the floor with a crowbar. Aha! There it is.
Oh, wow.
One less steering column. I'm not worried about that floor at all. So I'm going to cut that whole area out, just put in a fresh panel with only the holes I'll need for the steering and pedals later. That's kind of the story. It's got some charm. A little lighter in here now without the windshield. But wow, I was not expecting this business. You might have to take that dashboard out. I have a porta power. It's like a hydraulic piston that you can push things into shape with, and might have to go off the floor and hydraulically pump that up. That's a pretty decent challenge. You have this should be a nice convex curve, and then look how it turns right there. That, with that dashboard in the way, it's going to be a tough one. A lot of ways I can go about it. We can get into that. You can pull, etc. New challenge around every corner.
I'm here for it.
Got a couple surprises coming. As I mentioned, the windshield was a donation. We got this other donation coming. It's going to be crazy.
I'm excited.
I think tomorrow morning, so another day, we figured out what the chassis is going to be under this. It's a trip.
So cool.
It's so cool. So stay tuned. Hold on to your seats. Brew up a fresh batch of coffee and come on back now, you hear?
Did it.